So, we're 1 week away from the big vote, the snap general election called by shameless opportunist Theresa May, who was roundly criticised for not taking part in a seven-way debate the other day. The other leaders who did take part in the debate went at each other a fair bit. Corbyn and Amber Rudd, Corbyn and Paul Nuttall of UKIP as well. To quote Jeremy Corbyn as he went at Rudd, who was standing in and representing for the Tories, he asked her, "Have you been to a food bank? Have you seen the people sleeping around our stations? Have you seen the levels of poverty that exist because of your government's conscious decisions on benefits?" End quote. Having watched the debate, I would say I prefer a one-on-one. This format was okay. It was more entertaining than insightful, though. Corbyn gave a good account of himself, as did Caroline Lucas of the Green Party, who said, in a clear dig at the Prime Minister, first rule of leadership is to show up. Yeah, can't argue with that, really. And the Scottish and Welsh nationalists had a go at the country's leader too. Justified, in my opinion. This doesn't play well with the general public. Mrs May can behave as if she's above the need to attend such a debate, a squabble, she might say. It doesn't project strength, quite the opposite. And it does not give the impression that you are rising above the rabble, Prime Minister. She says it's more important to be taking questions from voters. Well, perhaps you featuring in a debate with other leaders would have answered many questions knocking around in the minds of many voters. And speaking of questions, I asked the Prime Minister a serious question using the official online channel. That was 6 months ago. What can I say at this point? Am I being ignored, disregarded? Or am I in a Great Wall of China-sized queue? What do you reckon? I understand that both Corbyn and May are going to appear on Question Time tomorrow, but they won't be going head-to-head, which is a shame. They have been going head-to-head in Prime Minister's questions, of course, but that isn't the same. Head of government versus leader of the opposition. It's challenge and response or challenge and rebuttal. In a general election, of course, it's a leadership contest. I know we vote for parties in this country. Officially, we don't vote for prime ministers, but in reality, thinking about this, many people most likely do. That being the case, if you want to be prime minister or regain your position in this office, you should mix it up with other candidates, other party leaders, but I guess that boat has left the harbour as far as the current Prime Minister is concerned, who will hopefully be the former Prime Minister next week. I've seen Andrew Neil of the BBC making various leaders squirm with difficult questions. I like his abrasive, no-nonsense style. He had Nicola Sturgeon on the ropes recently over Scotland's very slow economic growth. I think Corbyn came off looking fairly good in interviews with both Andrew Neil and Jeremy Paxman. They are difficult people to face, I think. He didn't lose his cool while being grilled. He looks like Prime Minister material to me. He isn't a puppet of the Parliamentary Labour Party, but he is Labour through and through. And I understand he wasn't going to take part in that debate on account of Theresa May refusing to take part, but I'm glad he changed his mind for whatever reason. The mainstream media accusation that Corbyn is a weak leader somehow, it doesn't hold up to scrutiny when you take an honest look at how he conducts himself publicly and how he stood up in the face of the leadership challenge after the EU referendum vote. Yeah. Whereas with Theresa May, what do we have? In my view, we have a hairbrushed front character parroting strength and stability every time a microphone is pushed under her nose. Not impressed. I hope you're not either. Vote Labour.